yo, what the fuck is up with all you bitches? Harsh reality, man. We going live today. We gonna talk some shit and kick it. We gonna try to launch this this platform and see what it do, man. I've been putting it off for a little bit, and I think it's time now. I think it's time to go ahead and see what happens. Regardless of whether it's negative or positive, we're gonna get it going and see what it do. I made a video previously just to kind of give a heads up as to what's to come from this actual platform, the Harsh Reality YouTube channel, which could branch off to many more things. But for the most part, we're just talking shit, man. It's just somewhere to come hang out and let off some steam, regardless to how you feel, whether you're sensitive or you got tough skin. Hopefully you do, because that's what we're coming with. So basically, just got a couple of things on my mind that I want to kind of just throw out there, and not even honestly to really get feedback or to get opinions, but just to kind of throw it out there, just to kind of see if it's just me, or if it's the masses or whatever. I'm tired of hearing about vaccines, for sure. I don't know if anybody else is. I'm sick of hearing about vaccines. I'm sick of hearing about this vaccine that we have for or whether you want to call it a vaccine or not. I like to call it the experiment. But I'm sick of hearing about it, man. It's everywhere, and that's just kind of the confusing part about what we're dealing with in the world with the pandemic, and with a type of action or resolution to what or to how this is being handled. Aside from doing preventive maintenance for yourself and for others, there's what health officials call a vaccine, and apparently there's a few different types or a few different makers of this vaccine that's essentially questionable in reference to what it does to you. For the most part, in my opinion, from what I know, which is not much when it comes down to medical or to even give medical advice. Of course, I'm not licensed or have ever practiced. But you think of a vaccine and you say, well, I'm going to get a vaccine and I'll be good. Measles, mumps, whatever, whatever you're given as a child, or whatever you take as in your youth, you get that particular vaccine. And then it's supposedly something that you don't really necessarily have to worry about after, so I guess not making you immune, but basically putting you in a situation or a percentage to where you don't have too much worry. With this situation, I'm pretty sure that that's not what we're dealing with. You have a situation where now you have people who are vaccinated and people who are not vaccinated. So now you have people who are vaccinated discriminating against people who are not vaccinated, and then you have people who are not vaccinated discriminating against people who are vaccinated. So now it's a war of the vaccinated and the unvaccinated. And the war of the anti-vaxxers versus the vaccinated people, and vaccinated people telling family members and loved ones that they can't come around. They don't want to see them, unless they have the vaccine. A lot of times, you go to an extreme for your family, for sure. But when you're on the outside looking in, you have to always question what exactly is going on, or what is actually being pushed, to make you go to an extreme to where you would tell someone that you love that they can't come around you unless they get an experimental dosage of something that is ultimately, from what I can research and gather on my own, is not a situation where you're actually stopping the contraction from this potential COVID-19 deal. So my question would be, why would you isolate your loved ones for not getting the vaccine when having the vaccine leaves you vulnerable to still contracting and being contagious? So I take the argument a little deeper than just saying, hey, you're not vaccinated, you can't you can't go to the movie theater. Well, that's fine. If I feel like if someone decides not to become vaccinated, you should have a choice and you should not be discriminated against. It's not like you having a vaccine is making you less contagious than someone who is vaccinated. You're both equally as contagious. Apparently, if you have the vaccine, you have milder symptoms. You could still catch COVID. You could still die from COVID. And you'll still have symptoms, but milder symptoms. You know what I mean? So that's just kind of where I'm at. And that's just kind of why I'm sick of hearing about these vaccines and different state legislators or, they're take this, this vaccine and you can have a chance to win $1 million. And, you go shopping at Kroger and get your vaccine here. And it's like, well, I don't want to get a vaccine where I buy my groceries. I don't think that goes together. Like, I would want my vaccine to be given to me by my healthcare physician. I don't want to go to a gas station and I'm gonna go get a fill up and then I'm gonna get my first shot. Like that just doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. And I can understand if it's a situation where it's like we're pushing this out to everyone in any circumstance. Dire needs to get you vaccinated so that you can be safe and you will not catch COVID if you have this. And that's not what it is. So I'm just sick and tired of hearing about vaccines. It's driving me nuts, and I'm tired of hearing about it. Striking that shit off my list. Another topic I wanted to touch on is cancel culture. I feel like where we are in the world today, society with, any generation you look at, whether you were born in the 80s, the 90s, 2000s, which would make you a small child, but, we've gathered on to latch onto this cancel culture. If someone doesn't agree with what you agree with or what you feel, we're quick to cancel. And I kind of disagree with that. I feel as if our society is vulnerable enough to the point where we start to bring in this softness. Where if one person says something that you don't like or you don't agree with, then you're automatically shunning, shaming, and trying to disadvantage that person, or you're trying to punish that person for not agreeing with what you agree with or saying something that you just may not agree with, and one particular group of people that I kind of point at, and I have to always say, like, if what I'm saying, if anyone watches this video and if you feel as if I'm just ignorant to what I'm saying, please educate me, help me to understand, or say I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong, or just try to help me to understand, because this is just me talking. This is harsh reality. So I shoot shit out there. And if I'm wrong, by all means, I'm open to hear why I'm wrong. And it doesn't have to be a debate, or anything like that. But, I'm still open to, different viewpoints in what I'm saying. But I feel as though the LGBTQ, and apparently there's others, I feel as if, you have a society of people who, feel as if they have to be in a isolated, small, group of people within themselves. And they feel that way for a reason, of course, because they're attacked by family members, just neighbors, people out in the general public when they go out. If they're identifying themselves physically or emotionally in the public, people kind of look at that and they frown, they turn and they say things, and I could kind of understand, why people do it. And it's because of ignorance. You fear what you don't know, or people fear what they don't know. You have a situation where if you were not raised or you don't understand why someone else feel the way that they feel inside, then, if you were to ask the question, then the people of the LBGTQ grab offense. And a lot of times this person is not attacking you. They're just curious. They don't know. They don't understand. And I can understand the attack. And it's like you're dealing with an abused animal. If you have an animal or a dog who's been abused, and you come with honest care, but the animal, of course, don't understand that, and then you reach out, the animal might try to bite you in defense for not understanding why you're trying to touch them, but you come and care. So you got to kind of do that quick icebreaker, right? But I feel like the LGBTQ, I'm not going to keep saying that shit over and over, so I'm just going to say alphabet. Please don't take offense. I feel like the alphabet crew kind of put themselves in a bigger spectrum of self-hate when they isolate themselves versus pushing their narrative out into the public. I feel as though if you push your narrative out into the public and you demand what you should have, which is equal rights, without the shunning, and you bring yourself out of that small society or that small secret group of people, and then you're out in the open, you wear it on your shirt, you know what I mean? And I feel like, a lot of times that's what it takes to kind of break that mold into, allowing people to understand you and then get a feel for you, and then you don't have to kind of worry about that part, of the comfortness, So then the anxiety breaks down. So there's no anxiety, so you don't have a reason to be on drugs and you say, oh, I'm on drugs because I have anxiety, because people laugh at me. Well, if you, represent yourself and you're proud of yourself, you know what I mean? Like, and people don't understand you, but you're not trying to do anything to help them to understand, because society was normalized to not think that is normal, So you have to change the narrative, and I think there's a lot of strides towards the positivity of the alphabet crew, but it's just a matter of pushing it harder. I mean, and then I guess using your voice, if you're not a part of that society, to help defend is also a good thing to do. And I really push that narrative too. Defense, support. If you feel a certain kind of way, and you should be accepted regardless. I feel as if you should see people for who they are. Find a person's heart and then judge. And even if you have someone who has some bad qualities or had bad qualities, and they're able to acknowledge that, and they're able to look you in your eye and tell you that they've changed themselves and that they're changing for the better, and they're looking for acceptance. And it doesn't have to be someone who is LGBTQ or anything like that. It can just be whoever. I feel like we need to stop holding hatred or grudges towards people, and really accept them for who they are when they tell you, believe people when they tell you who they are and what they're trying to do, stop holding on to so much hatred, and stop judging people for how they feel. Like, if you say something, like, I think we should, as a society, we should try to get rid of cancel culture. We should get rid of that mute button. The mute button got to go. We should hear everyone out. You want to hear what people have to say. You want to get to know them. Let people talk to you and tell you who they are, That's my piece on cancel culture. And then another topic I wanted to kind of reach on is gatekeepers. Now, gatekeepers are everywhere, especially in like the work field. Workers have to deal with gatekeepers. And this gatekeeper piece kind of goes into my still whole idea of, when I say cancel culture, mute button, now you have gatekeepers. So you may have a person who may have a lot of potential to do something good, or you may know, because if you're a gatekeeper and you watching or listening to this, you know who you are, and you understand the power that you have. And of course, you do also understand that you may take things personally when you shouldn't, and you may hold a person like you may feel like if you're a worker or you're working somewhere and you just feel like you got a foot on your back, right? And no matter how hard you try, no matter how much effort you put into what you're doing, the second you get a chance to like breathe or like push up from the ground and see a little bit of clearance, you may have this person that just it's just resting that foot on your back. And then the second you get a chance to like see a little bit, they just put a little more pressure down on your back, push you right back down. You know what I mean? And then you start doing more, you start pushing more, and you start working harder, and you start doing more things outside of what your normal day-to-day would be. And then you come up a little bit more, with a little bit more strength, and you get a little bit more vision, and things look a little bit more clear and a little more positive, and then they just put that pressure right back on your back again and push you right back down. And it's almost as if they get a kick out of it. They'll tell you like, hey, work a little harder. You just gotta do a little bit more. You just gotta, you're just not ready. And I feel like if you're ready and you're dealing with that type of situation where you may be dealing with a gatekeeper or some gatekeepers with an S, I feel like that's when it's time for you to really make a strong, firm decision into reference into what it is that you're doing, whether or not it's something that you should be doing, or whether you want to just keep fighting against the gatekeepers or a gatekeeper. It just depends on what the situation could potentially be. With our work situation now, with our society, with COVID, I find it weird that you have a lot of companies who are willing to pay people now to sign up to work and come and work in their industries. And then you have some companies who would just willingly let people just walk away and go and work other places. I guess I've never made it to that plateau or level of within a company to understand what's being said at the very, very, very top. But I have seen some really good, strong, good quality people, walk away from a job, and I would always ask the question. I would say, hey, what was said? Did when you said that you were leaving, did anyone even ask you if why are you leaving, or just anything, any concern or any? And the answer was always no. Like no one asked me why I was leaving. It's just okay, cool, see you later. And I just find that funny. The gatekeepers is almost as if you get brainwashed into like not caring about people, not understanding that being a human being should really come first, and being compassionate, it goes a long way, So if you're a gatekeeper, man, I just want to, if you listen to my shit, I just want to tell you, man, like that shit ain't cool. Outside of that, that's some of the more serious things that I had to say within this quick little live. I don't want to call this an episode, but these are just going to be rants. We talk shit. That's what we do. Harsh reality. You know what I'm saying? And I can't wait to get some followers, and I can't wait to get some real hardcore debates going on. On this channel. I haven't really put a lot of energy into what I'm proposing within this channel set, but I'm really about to go 100% into my channel and my audience. I'm definitely going to do a lot of giveaways because I feel like engagement comes with prizes, and keeping people interested in your brand or what would be my brand. And from that point, I do a lot of shit. I got a lot of hobbies. I just bought some new home theater equipment for my man cave. I'm in the dungeon right now as we speak, so the dungeon is up, and yeah, it's basically set up like a fucking dungeon. You know what I'm saying? When I come down here, I'm in the dungeon. It's what it is. But I got a new receiver, new AVR receiver. I got a Denon 4700, and I got a fucking SVS PB3000 sub to go with my 5.1 for right now. I'm gonna branch it off into a 7.1. Then I'm going to branch it off into a 7.2. Then I'm going to branch it off to a 7.2.2. So I'm in the beginning stage of my man cave home theater setup. And right now as we speak, my shit rocks my whole house. You know what I mean? I probably don't have to go any further, but you know, I want to take it there just to kind of get that experience. And then if I feel as if it's too much, I might tone it down, because the 5.1 right now that I have set up with the PB3000, it's too much. It's a bit much right now. I gotta do some fine tuning, and I got the setup to where I could, you know, synchronize distance from the speakers, you know, all the audio video talk. But it's fun to be able to do this kind of setup. For me, I've always wanted to do a man cave, you know, in any sense, and I always wanted it to be in the basement, because I always wanted to have it set up like it was a dungeon. I don't know, I always wanted a dungeon setup, and I got it, you know. So home theater setup coming along. That's one of my projects that I got going on right now. Harsh Reality is another project that I got going on right now. I will have some merch. There's a merch store for Harsh Reality and Streamlabs. So if you search Streamlabs / Harsh Reality, I got some merch in the merch store there, if anyone wants to make any purchases. Some of the newer movies that I've just purchased that I'm going to be checking out. I got the 4K Blu-rays. I got Speed. Speed was an action deal that was came out in the mid-90s, I would say. I got A Quiet Place 1 and 2. So A Quiet Place was basically filmed for LFE, low frequency sound effects, in the, you know, when you're watching these particular movies that are shot this way, because basically within the title A Quiet Place, it's basically about a situation where I want to say this is the alien invasion, and they can't see, but they can hear like times 100. You know what I mean? And you got a family. Not to say too much, but they literally don't communicate through voice, sign language, and they keep everything quiet. You know, A Quiet Place. And when shit turn up, it turns up, and it gets real loud, and those lows get real low. So I can't wait to test those out. And then I was recommended Overlord. Overlord was by J.J. Abrams, and I'm a big fan of all his work, but I didn't go to the theater to watch it, and I didn't watch it, you know, when it released. I just didn't get around to seeing it, you know what I mean? So I got Overlord, and I watched like the first half an hour, and I was tired, so I said, well, I'm gonna turn it off and get back into it a little bit later. But the lows on that one and the HDR on that one is pretty cool too. It's a pretty good violent joint if you want to see some violence. But other than that, that's really all I got. I'm running 25 minutes right now on my rant, talking shit, you know, on a Tuesday. I'm gonna try not to talk about a lot of news on Harsh Reality, because, you know, you can watch the news for that. And I'm gonna try to talk more about what's going on with what I kind of get involved with, you know, which is, you know, audio, video, movies, video games, and any type of technology, you know, social life, trying to keep some sanity, you know, talking about anxiety. You know, since we've been in this pandemic, I kind of feel like I've developed some anxiety. I would never go get any medication for it or anything like that. I would just, you know, just deal with it myself. But I don't feel as if I've been driven to the point of insanity or going crazy or anything like that. But I definitely have, you know, like some mental blocks where I kind of go, you know, off the deep end sometimes. But then we reel it back, you know what I'm saying, and we keep pushing. That's what we do, you know. So other than that, I'm not really playing. I guess I am playing some video games. I got, you know, I'm playing Madden and 2K22. So my gamer tags is should be in the descriptions of some of these videos or things of that nature. So, you know, other than that, if anybody trying to run, I do have a reputation of making cats quit on 2K. You know, I'm just that good. Without all the snuff and bluff and the gloom. Madden, I'm not so good, but I like playing Madden, but I'm not that good at it. And other than that, you know, just look forward to more content, you know, rocking out on the game, watching movies in my spare time, you know, hanging out in the dungeon that's still developing. I got a couple more things I got to do to the dungeon. But other than that, you know, I hope people watch this video. I hope people subscribe to the video. Leave your comments on the topics that I spoke on. Again, understand and know that what I'm saying is not me pushing any narrative. I don't judge anyone for the decisions that they make for themselves. You know, so whether you got a vaccination or not, I'm not here to judge you. You know, I really don't give a fuck what you do with your body, but I do. I care because I want you to be alive. You know what I'm saying? So however you decide to do it, you know, it is what it is. Stop that cancel culture shit because that shit is whack. Gatekeepers, let that out your heart, man. You know, if you got some good people, man, and you feel like you holding them back on purpose, stop doing that because that's not cute either. You know, other than that, I'm gonna get up out of here.